incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. This is taken at the 23. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay with his second touchdown. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. Well, let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The kick by McManus is good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
here. It's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. So we're at halftime here. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have it?
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
And some room to work. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
46 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They try the left side, and it's a fumble. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety rolling into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Jackson now. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Randy Gregory drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are a couple of yards shy of midfield. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
From midfield now, here's Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Albert O. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.